everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're going way back to an almost forgotten animated movie in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Our Friend Martin.
Now this movie has a terrific all-star cast. It focuses on a teenager named Miles who has to go on a class field trip to the Museum of Learning, what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did for humanity. Now he thinks that he'd rather play baseball, but the trip turns into an exciting adventure when he and his best friend Randy, plus a friend of theirs named Maria, are sent back in time, meeting Martin Luther King Jr. at several points during his life.
Right.
And during the movie, he's only referred to as Martin.
Right. So, and just like with the title, it's more like a best friend or someone you knew personally. And with the pictures you're seeing, it almost looks like one of these like mini theatrical movies. And it turns out it's just like a little 1 hour educational movie.
Direct to video, right?
Right. And you know, the reputation of most of these like after school programs, you know, your memories of it and what there is, and they're kind of on the nose. But here, it's not like that. It really is educational. Yeah, you know, it was made in '99, so you know the music and the dialogue and some things in there were like a little bit laughable. But
it's not. It was the end of the '90s, crossing over into the 2000s.
Right, like with static.
Right, and you can actually hear where the music's about to change and morph into something different in the 2000s.
Right, and at first, you know, it starts off maybe a little bit, you know, cliche, just a little. But as it goes on, you really are being taught so much about this man. And I'm realizing not only you're really having fun, you're learning from the time he was a teenager all the way to his last days about everything he did and the impact. People were involved, what he did for his community and for everybody in his town, and just for everybody.
For everybody. This reminds me so much of a type of work Dwayne McDuffie would have done. They Dwayne McDuffied. That's what I'm going to call it, because when you're watching it, you see the positive, the positivity in it, the positive spin on characters, how each group of people is seen in a positive light, how everyone is just normal, and there's no one who's made to look better than another person.
Right.
Yeah, you have your bullies and these other things, but everything comes to a conclusion by the time this movie is over.
Right.
And again, it's just, if you love Dwayne McDuffie and what he did with Ben 10 and Static Shock, if you've never seen My Friend Martin, Our Friend Martin,
yeah, but you could love, you know, that's right too.
You will absolutely love this movie because it's just Dwayne McDuffie. It's Dwayne McDuffie, not Dwayne McDuffie.
Right. It's something like it's something that he would write, because that's the type of impact he had with his show.
Exactly.
And on top of that, not only as they go through these different events in the King's life, they also have a whole cast of stars in here as well, doing the voice of Dr. King, you know, throughout his life and with the other characters.
Before we get to that, I just want to tell you a little about the animation, because remember, it was 1999, so the animation is going to be 2D, and that is what you're expecting for now. But that gives it the nostalgia feel if you're watching it. And secondly, they not only have the 2D animation, but they somehow layered live, real photographs within the animation at the museum. There are these real pictures of King and his life on the walls. And then there's actually live footage from good parts of our experience of knowing him and from the sad parts as well. And all of this is just meshed together in this one movie, and it's just terrific.
Right.
And for 1999, and thinking of that time period, it was ahead of its time.
Right.
In a lot of ways.
And I even remember that there were like maybe 1 or 2 parts of the movie I didn't remember. But for the most part, I remember what happened, what it was about. I forgot about, like I said, adding the actual things.
Really little.
And I especially remembered near the end when they saw like it was near the end of his life. And the one thing that was the biggest part about it that definitely made you think Dwayne McDuffie is, you know, the part of here where they travel throughout his life. When they see at the end, when they get to the museum, you know, he's been assassinated, they were horrified by that. So they actually went back in time to when they first saw him as a teenager, and they brought him to the future to see how much he changed. But
no, You love to give away plot. She can't tell you if you haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I won't reveal that. I won't reveal that part. But it was that part of the movie makes you really think, like you said, of Dwayne McDuffie, and
it was really powerful.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, and this was beyond just a basic educational thing for him. This was made you really think, and this was to be in elementary or high school or something. It was making you really think about the impact of what would happen if any events were changed.
Right, and if he'd never contributed to what he has to history. Now, go ahead and tell us about the wonderful all-star cast that voiced him at different times, or periods, I should say, in his life.
Well, for when he was a teenager, he was voiced by Jaleel White.
Urkel.
And then later on, when he was like 15, he was voiced by LeVar Burton, or well, actually his 20s. And then they have other characters in here, like his father's voiced by James Earl Jones.
Darth Vader, the original Darth Vader.
And then one of his friends was voiced by Samuel Jackson. The woman who ran the museum was voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. The boy's mother was voiced by Angela Bassett. And
then two of his King's actual children, one being Dexter Scott King, actually made appearances vocally in the movie. So that was pretty cool.
Right. And they also have Jessica Garcia. They had Lucas Black, and just like it's like wow, all these people were involved in this 1 hour movie. This wasn't a blockbuster movie, theatrical movie, or TV special. This was just a little after school movie. So that showed how powerful it was. And it's not even, I know we did say it's almost forgotten. When we say that, it's because you don't hear about it anymore. Someone uploaded quite a while ago onto YouTube and changed the format because it's only available on VHS.
Right.
And I was seeing comments from this year, from like the beginning. I'm sorry, for 2018, back in 2018, and they were saying, "Oh, I remember this. This was really great. Like, and this movie's this old, and there were people that still remember seeing this all throughout these years, and they still love the movie, and they still remember it."
Okay, I want to mention a few more, again, amazing cast members.
Oh, sure.
That were in here. We had Ed Asner as Mr. Harris, Angela Bassett, Mrs. Woodman, John Travolta, Mr. Langdon.
Oh my God.
Susan Sarandon. Again, another King's children, Yolanda King played Christine King. Richard Kind from Home Improvement. Ashley Judd. Danny Glover. You had so many people. And Oprah. So many people that were in here that contributed to this work. Frank Welker. Scooby-Doo and Fred.
Yeah.
And last I'm going to say is Adam Wiley.
Okay.
So we're just going to stop because, again, it was just an all-star cast. And it was done beautifully and fabulously.
Right.
And
there were also
it was a soundtrack release, right?
Yeah, with Motown Records. And they had maybe a few different covers from different people from songs you really recognize when you listen to them.
Right, that were done by artists like the Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, Salt and Pepper. These are people that, if you're not familiar with Diana Ross, Brian McKnight,
so Stevie Wonder,
your parents may know whom they are. So, of course, everyone knows Stevie. So it was a terrific compilation, and I think the soundtrack's still available, right?
Yeah, I think so. Now, when you watch it on YouTube, they managed to cut out music and just have where it's the audio. I think so. There's no copyright claims.
Very smart.
Right, but if you watch it like on the tape itself or another version of it, you'll hear the music in there with it, and it actually did fit very well with it. It wasn't in your face like it probably would be now. It actually did fit with the movie, and it was very upbeat for the times it needed. And then when it was time for the sad moments, it did its job.
Right.
So every part of this special was perfectly done, and it's such an impact that people still remember it. Over a decade later, And so I love this movie. I love this
Oh,
special.
it's almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
1999 to 2019.
Right.
It's 2 decades.
That's right. That's correct. I'm sorry. It's like a time warp of me, I guess. But yeah, it was a really great special. If you haven't seen it, we really recommend you either, if you even have VHS, get the tape or find it on YouTube and watch it. And if you,
what is the person's channel that it's under?
Oh, I'm actually not sure because there were several people that have it, so there's like different sources.
Well,
some may have it, some don't.
Look in the comment section, description, and we'll list some of the places of the people who actually carry a version of it.
Right.
So you can easily go to it and watch it yourself.
Yeah, that'll be much easier.
And if you have seen it, let us know if you remember what age you originally saw it. What impressed you most? What makes it memorable for you? And do you think this is something that you would love to continue to share in the future, maybe with others who don't know about it?
Right. So, we hope that you enjoyed this in honor of Dr. Luther King's birthday and everything we remember that he's done to change our world and our viewpoint. And we thank you for everything.
And thank you because you had a dream. Now each and every one of us can have a dream as well.
All right. Amen. So thank you for watching and hope you watch this special if you haven't. I'm at School Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace, and enjoy this clip from one of Martin Luther King's speeches.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the form of a locket.